Well, we all know our capital city is one of the best places to live and work, but it's the job of the Greater Des Moines Partnership to make sure everyone else knows it too. This year, the partnership got a new leader. Tiffany Tauschek was named as president and CEO, but she's not new to the organization or the Metro. Here to tell us all about her new role and some of the goals that she wants to accomplish with the partnership is Tiffany Tauschek herself. Tiffany, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Janae.
Well, we were talking about taking over since July, so 4 months on the job. Kind of take me through how this transition's been for you.
Yeah, well, the great news is I've been at the organization for over 8 years, so very familiar with the work, the leaders throughout the 11 counties that we represent. But I knew stepping into the role that I needed to make sure that I went out into the communities and counties that we represent to listen and learn. So I've made my way through about 320 conversations so far. Had another one right before this meeting today, and just continuing to listen and learn to better understand out of those 11 counties, what are the key themes and priorities that our investors, stakeholders, policymakers, small business owners, farmers, what are they thinking about?
Sure. And what are you hearing? I mean, there's got to be some common themes. Obviously, there could be some differences with that 11 county area, but what are some of the common themes that you're hearing?
It's been interesting because there's been a lot of consistency throughout all of those conversations. There are really 4 key priorities that are on the top of everyone's minds. Talent, they want workforce, right?
Sure.
Housing, we need more. Childcare concerns, and finally education. And we also know and understand that each of those, there's connective tissue between them.
Sure.
So if we can positively impact change in even one of those 4 areas as a region as a whole, we're going to move forward even better and stronger.
Right. I know you hear about those issues, and that's something that is kind of something that we hear about and we talk about on a daily basis, no matter what role you're on. Those are really important things to try and tackle. So there's a plan that you said you were talking about for next year.
Yes, another thing we heard through these conversations and continue to hear is that the partnership's focus on economic development and talent development are critical to the region's future. We represent through that 11 county representation about 850,000 residents. So we're waking up every day thinking about how do we make our communities stronger, better together? How do we build new business, attract new business, talent, attract new talent to the area as well. So we will be rolling out in 2024 our plan that's informed through this tour and much more. Really excited about the future.
Yeah, we should back up a little bit, because when you do talk about business, when you think of the partnership, that's probably what most people think of first. And of course, that's what you want them to think about. I mean, just give us a little background of what the partnership is.
Yes, so we are the Regional Economic Development and Community Development Organization. We have 400 investors, 24 affiliate chambers of commerce, and 6,500 members. So that means that we are the 4th largest regional chamber of commerce in the entire country.
I was going to say, that's a lot.
It's a lot, and it matters when we're trying to make change and impact change. It's just a matter of keeping everyone in the boat rowing in the same direction.
Right. Well, last night we were talking about a win for the Des Moines Airport terminal plans. We've been hearing about them a lot. And of course, when you want to grow business, when you want to have more people coming to our great city, it helps to have a bigger airport.
That's right. We are so excited about the news and the passage of the referendum last night. Really, really pleased to see that. That has been a partnership strategic priority for over 5 years. So the partnership board had voted to support that and has continued to step up and support that initiative. So we were very, very pleased with the result last night, because that will help us as we are working to attract and grow business and talent. But it also helps us with visitors, because
Sure.
what we know is that today's tourists are tomorrow's talent. So they're more likely to stay in our community if they visit our community, and having that additional terminal will help us get more people into our community.
You've been doing this, you were saying, for a long time, right? It doesn't get old talking about how great Des Moines is to other people. I was telling you, the secret's out.
That's right, and we have all kinds of rankings that we're lifting up and helping share. We really appreciate that third-party validation.
Sure.
One of the recent rankings we received was being #1 for young professionals by Forbes. We have a whole list of other rankings available on our website. Anybody can check those out and utilize those if they're trying to get other friends or family to move back to the area or move to the area. So those are at your fingertips. Just go to our website for that. But yeah, the future is very bright.
Well, let's give people the information if they want to go to one of these listening tours, if they want to get involved and help grow their communities and help with those 4 strategic areas that you were talking about. Where can they go to get more information?
Well, we will be soon rolling out in January, not only the partnership strategic priority, but a group of organizations came together for Capital Crossroads, which is the regional vision plan. That plan will also be rolled out in January. So there will be opportunities between the Greater Des Moines Partnership, of course, those local chambers of commerce that we work closely with, and of course the Capital Crossroads plan to get involved. There is no shortage of opportunity to have your fingerprints on the future of this region. It's just a matter of raising your hand and volunteering your time.
Yep, you'll put them to work.
That's
All right.
right.
So a busy couple of months, busy months to come as well. Tiffany, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And we will have much more in the News at 4 right after this.